Hey everybody, so this is December 30th. It's going on 3/20. We just arrived here at our acupuncturist. This is, I think, our fourth or fifth visit. I need to keep track of this. But we're waiting here as usual. She works at a hospital, so yesterday we waited about 45 minutes. She told us to be here like 3:30, and then she comes late anyway. But she's busy. She comes home and she's got like clients coming in. But we're just very grateful she can take us so soon and so in such a consistent basis, because it's much more effective if you do it that way. I was looking into acupuncture a little bit on the videos yesterday just to see what the effects are, and it's relatively harmless. But I have to admit that I think I might be feeling some relief. I've not had any feet cramps, and I'm walking in my bare feet almost all the time. I'm only wearing sandals now and bare feet all around the house. First couple of days I had cramps like crazy, my feet hurt, everything hurt. I think I got used to it, but also I think that this might be helping. We started my back acupuncture and my back doesn't feel as stressed and tense. And also my knee. We haven't walked in a couple days. That's usually when I feel the knee pain. That's really going to be the indicator of whether this is working or not, because I get shocks of pain through my knee. But I have not had much pain, even though I can't really bend that much. I need to work more on my flexibility over the next couple months. Well, you see the car is loaded here. We just made another set of purchases at Souvigny, the equivalent of Home Depot. I wanted a carpet for my office. We bought a new shower head and shower unit. Since we have better water pressure now we got one of those rain shower, and just a stronger, a better unit, because the one that we have in the outside toilet, I heard that the hot water doesn't work now. Like, things don't last long here. I mean, you just have to plan to replace things every couple of years. I think you'd be lucky to get 5 years out of something, because the weather kills it, people just abuse it, and things are not really taken care of as much as I think they could be. But everything just gets used really hard here, so you need to replace things every couple of years. I think this one thing we're replacing is only 2 years now. So anyway, we got about 15,000 baht of stuff in here. What else did we buy? So we spent 15,000 baht and we win 2 plastic bins, like something you would wash dishes in just outside, worth about 50 baht. Spend 15,000 and you get 50 baht of a lottery. You draw a piece of paper. I won a plastic wastebasket, ugly one I would never buy, but they'll use it. That's useful outside, especially if you're collecting leaves or debris or something. And yeah, that's the kind of promotions you get here. You don't get much. I think actually she said she got 400,000 baht or lakh keep back, which is about $20. Oh yeah, and that was the other big one, was the cabinet. We want to change the cabinet and the sink in the bathroom, so it just looks nicer and it's more efficient, and take away the plastic bins to make it look a little nicer. You know, we're gonna live there. We want it to look nice, and I'm kind of tired of having this kind of, we call it Chinese market, just stuff laying around in cheap things and doesn't look nice. And the stuff will get used. We don't toss anything. What we don't use, her family will take and use it till it's done. So until it's really, really done and done for it. And then, so nothing goes wasted here. I think they're grateful for our hand-me-downs, basically. But this should be the last biggest purchase for a while. So this was equivalent to, I think, about 450 $450, $500, something like that. But I think this should be the last biggest thing coming up. Yesterday we got our TV installed. That was the big up. That was another big upgrade. I didn't sleep well last night just thinking about some of the stuff. So the other problem that we have here is credit cards. Every time we go to a store, we've had problem with their machines declining my cards. And then the first thing they say, oh, you don't have any money. I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of money on the cards. I have a lot of credit. It's your machine. So 4 different cards, and then until they get another machine that's linked to another bank, and then it works. So just be aware, if you ever come here and you need to use a credit card to buy anything, you'll probably want multiple credit cards if possible, and of course you want cash. And I really don't want to use the cash that I'm because we don't have that much. We'll have to go to the bank back in Thailand in 2 weeks so we can pay the balance of our car, and then pay the balance of all this stuff that we bought. But yeah, this is still cash-based society. The other thing is they charge extra 3%. So that's one of the difficult things about living in Laos is it's more costly in some senses. They're very closed down to the world system. So the bank, credit cards, external credit cards, they don't really have any internal credit cards, and there's no real benefit to it. So you use cash, and if you use an external credit card, you guaranteed 3%, and you're still not guaranteed it will work. So you got to really come. It's a very still cash-based society here. Spent the evening last night trying to figure out this Chase credit card with my sister. What a hassle. We've got people we call into these customer services. I'm applying for a new credit card, and it got turned down for a fraudulent potential fraud. So we called this. I had to call my sister. We were on three-way phone, and they refused to talk to her directly, even though she's power of attorney. And then I had, and they were complaining because they couldn't hear because of my interference. And I said, I can't understand what you're saying, because they weren't American. It wasn't American English. It was Indian English. And so difficult to understand their accent. And then we got a Filipino at another time, and he was saying, I asked you 3-4 times. I said, you can say it 10 times. I still don't understand what you're saying. And there was some interference, but it just was very frustrating calling an American company and then and this is one of the problems, they outsource this stuff to these countries because for cheaper labor, but you sacrifice on the communications. I couldn't, I'm used to some of the accents, but some of them are not. And then there was some phone interference. So we had to sort through that. Finally, my sister called multiple times to try to get someone different. And finally, we did end up with this Indian girl. They must be based in India. And then she was clearer. She had less of an accent. Her tone was much clearer too. And she spoke a little slower. So we sorted through the questionable items, and she said, okay, we'll get back to you and let you know if you're approved, probably within 2 days, or we'll call you if there's any more questions that we have. So I really hope I get that travel visa credit card, because I think it would be much more beneficial to us, even though I'm paying an annual fee of $100. I think it will be worth it if we do plan to travel a little more. So we have 2 days left in the year, and today's second. I can't believe it. So this will end up being my second last day of the countdown. This isn't even a week. So last week was week 0. This week is like week negative, I guess, because because it's half a week. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this will be my last. Tomorrow will be my last day to my countdown to early retirement. Thursday will be officially retired. That would be New Year's. Officially early retired or unemployed. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about money and how much we're spending and how much we're going to need. So yeah, that is a big concern going into the new year, but I will try to find, if I can find some odd jobs and work, I will take them. And yeah, I've been thinking about my goals for the year, and I don't like goals. I kind of like the system. I kind of like the ideas that Tim Ferriss and a couple other people talk about, where he's talking about review the year past, and then what worked and what didn't work, and then what worked and what gave you joy, do more of that next year. Because goals don't really work. I believe in building good systems, good habits, and those good habits and good systems, what was the saying? The saying, you don't rise to the level of your goal, you fall back to the level of your system, the strength of your system. So the system are your habits, your daily habits. And I do have the discipline to do daily habits. And I have come to agree, I used to do this like 10, 15 goals a year, ridiculous, while working, and it doesn't work. You just end up doing a little bit of nothing, a little bit of everything, getting nothing done. So what I'm doing is, I do have some things I want to achieve next year, but I'm just going to build those systems, basically my schedule, to actually do it. Am I recording? Yeah. So the three things that my three priorities for the next 6 months will be to get leaner, healthier, lose some fat, get leaner, get stronger, get more muscular again. Our chiropractor's here. That's the first one. No particular order, because I'll schedule all these things in my. Let me quick finish this thought. So the goals that I have the system's going to build around to achieve what I want to do next year are get leaner. I want to get in the gym. I'm going to spend probably a good 2 hours a day in the gym, 5 days a week. Saturday and Sunday will be more of rest days. I definitely want to keep that as recovery days because I'm going to go hard. I've been preparing myself kind of for stretching and some things like that. I'm going to do something called the MP45 workout, or a variation of it. It worked for me before. I lost 20 pounds. I got an amazing shape back in 15 years ago, and I'm hoping it will work for me again. The second one is I want to learn to speak Lao very well. My goal is 3 to 6 months, 6 months maximum. I want to be able to speak Lao. I need to communicate with her family, and it's very difficult. So I'm going to commit to at least 1 hour a day on that. Repetition, listening to audio, and then 1 or 2 lessons a week with an actual Thai teacher. And then I'm immersed in Lao. Her family doesn't speak English, and I'm immersed basically. So I don't have any excuses. So within 6 months, I should be speaking and understanding pretty well. And if I do at least an hour a day, I'll have that booked. And then the third one is I want to finish my memoir. So I don't have that much more to do on it. I will at one point need an editor to go over the book, and then there will be some processing to publish, to get it to publishing. I don't know how much I'm going to invest in that. I am a little concerned with the money at this point. But those are my 3 goals. I want to get it to a point where I can't really do anything with it anymore, personally. And I think 3 to 6 months should be long enough. And then I'll take the next step from there. So that's my goal for the next quarter, next 1 quarter, 2 quarters. And then I have some secondary goals that I want, or secondary things I want to work on after that's done. I want to play guitar. I want to write another book. I'm thinking of I want a book of short stories from my humanitarian escapades. I think that would be a fun thing to write. Just a short story book. If something happens with it, it happens. And I like reading short story books, especially when they're real stories. I just need to change the characters. So that's kind of the things I've been thinking about. So yeah, second last day of the year. It's like one more day until early retirement or official unemployment, and I'm pretty happy about that. I'm looking for the time off. I mean, this has been a brutal 30 years. NGO work will just wear you out. This is the outside of this house here. I really like it. I would love to have something like that. We have this tall roof. That's pretty typical here, but I love this terrace with like a natural sun block. I wish we had this much space too, which we don't. Anyway, I'm not sure if I'll add on to this, but tomorrow I'll close out the year, close out this countdown. And so before I forget, that was one of the other things I'm looking to do. I'll have more time for some spiritual development. I do wake up in the morning. I do at least an hour of my devos. So I've been finishing up the Bible that I've been reading, the Charles Stanley Bible in a year, and I only have 2 days left, and I'm really glad I did it. I think I only missed maybe 5 days maximum that I couldn't read it for some reason. I was traveling, or I didn't have it with me, or I had to rush out of the house. But I think I only missed maybe 5 days maximum, which I'm really happy about. So I read the entire Bible this year, minus like 2-3 chapters in the Old Testament and the New Testament. And so I'll be finishing that up tomorrow. I have to say, I like the exercise. I like that it got me through the Bible or refamiliarized myself with it. But it was... it seems like more goal-oriented than it does like spiritual development. It familiarized me with the Bible, but I think what I want to do, so next year I'm going to be one of the other goals is just become more at peace, more spiritually aware, more in tune with God and understanding the coming closer, coming deeper spiritually. Giving more peace. I want more peace. I want more joy. And so I'm going to focus more. I'm looking at the MacArthur Study Guide. I did order a MacArthur Study Bible, but I won't get it until I go back to the U.S., which might not happen until March now. So all the things that I bought for New Year or for Black Friday, I won't get until March, until I go home and pick them up. My sister and I were talking about it yesterday. She's got 2 drawers full of stuff. I'm excited to get some of the things, but I'm going to have to wait. So I'm going to have to revert to my old Bibles, which is fine. But I'm going to read the Bible I bought in 1997 when I first got baptized in Haiti. I'm going to read that. I'm going to start reading that, and I'm going to follow I want to focus more on the New Testament this year. So MacArthur's Study Guide gets you to read through the Bible in 3 years by reading 1 book a month. And the suggestion is, I'm gonna have to listen to the video again, but the suggestion is to start with the smaller books, like 1 John. So every day for 1 month, I will read 1 John, the entire book, every day. And this just gets you more familiar, and then you take notes and you have a couple of questions that you answer, or you review meditations that you think about and write down if you want, and journal. And that's what I want to focus on. I really want to go deeper into the books of the Bible and Jesus's teachings, much more in depth. And so basically I think that will eliminate me reading the Old Testament. Frankly, the Old Testament is very difficult. And so I just want to root myself a little deeper in actual post Jesus's life and all the spiritual teachings there, because I think that's really where the heart is of how we're supposed to live. So yeah, I just want to get deeper, and I'm going to focus more on going deeper into each book. And I really like this idea, and there's a tracker I'm going to follow so I can make sure so if you miss a day, you can still continue. It's not like based on a calendar. It's just like 30 days you read every day one book. And that's what I'm going to do. That's one of my goals. That's one of my objectives for next year. And to really use this time to abide, and be much more peaceful and less preoccupied with our work and less preoccupied with worries. And so that's I'm looking forward to that. So that's going to start January 1st. A couple new things happening, and I'm pretty. New Year's can always make you excited about starting new things, and I'm glad that I'm not distracted anymore by crappy work, unless I get odd jobs, which I can easily work into my schedule. So now I can really focus and not focus on these things rather than do them kind of like passively and not really as focused, not as thoughtful, not as intentional as I would like. So yeah, looking forward to that. Two more things before I forget while I'm laying here. So we determined that my feet and my knee are done. So she wanted to do something in my shoulders. We're going to do one more in my back, my lumbar, and we're going to work on my neck and my shoulders. And we have one needle in my head. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, I think I really need something for my shoulders. I've got a pain in you can see the thumping, the pulsing in my shoulder. So yeah, so we'll be coming back here for a couple more days, I guess. Her mom's still getting treated. She didn't see much improvement. But the other two things I wanted to talk about, I was just talking about the spiritual development I want to do. So every year I buy a new devotional. I've been doing that for 2 years now. This past year was called God's Purpose for Your Life by Charles Stanley. I'll be finishing that tomorrow. So I picked up a new one. New devotional will start on Monday. It's called the Retirement Devotional for Men. And I'm looking forward to that, starting something a little different. It's biblically, spiritually oriented. And so I just want to fill my mind with good things, I just finished a book called Die with Zero. I'll probably do a separate video of that for when I want to go through my notes, I'm going to go through my highlights and have some thoughts, more constructive and orderly thoughts around the book, because I think it was very worth reading. And the younger you are, the more you'll benefit from it. So if you're considering, I think, some of these books that I'm reading now, if I would have had them 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, what a difference it would have made. But the Japanese proverb says, best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. Second to best time is today. So at least I've got 20 more years left, and I'm implementing these concepts into my life now before it's too late. And so the book I'm going to start now is called From Strength to Strength. I just started it yesterday, and these are actually, I've heard another person recommend these, so they're popping up. I got 2 times rewards for buying them on Kindle, So that's what I'm starting now. So yeah, just a lot of spiritual development, emotional development, and less technical professional development this year. I still need to keep my skills up to par. I have my I do subscribe to a course to develop my Excel skills, but I'll only do that if it fills in, if it works into my schedule. It's not a priority. And if I don't do it this year, I might cancel it next year. If I don't get a job and I don't need to work anymore, it might not be necessary to keep doing that. And I think with the development of AI and stuff, some of these skills are going to be less and less needed. So I need to focus on, managing my budgets and setting up systems to go into this next period of life less busy, but more focused, much more concentrated focus. So looking forward to that. I think this will be a year. This year is leaning up to be a year of recovery in so many senses, physical, spiritual, and emotional. I'm looking forward to less stress that work brings on. The NGO world is just brutal, absolutely brutal. Never thought I'd want to not be doing this anymore 15 years, 20 years ago. And till then, this is Choice of Winding Down Chronicles. I have an expat going into early retirement. I'm not retired yet, but I'm getting there. One more day. God bless and take it slow.